Well, joining us now is James, who is also from our Ray White Mission Bay office. Welcome, James. How are you?
Thanks, Wayne. I'm great.
James, I think normally we've been talking to successful salespeople about selling and what they find and how they do things. Maybe a little bit different today, James. Can we maybe talk about that transition from a role outside of real estate into becoming a real estate agent? And yours is interesting because you've had a very strong sales background.
Yep.
Maybe you can touch on that for us?
Yeah, so I've spent many years in franchising, and that gave me a sort of a good insight into people, the relationships and ongoing sort of management of those sort of people.
Sure.
And wanted to really see what I could be doing next with the same sort of skills. So real estate was really quite an obvious thing for me to do.
So it wasn't only sales, it's a real strong business background, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that aspect of the business, obviously you're selling them a franchise and then you're maintaining and looking after them for sometimes 10, 15 years that they're part of the franchise. So you get to know a lot about the people, and the environment always changes. So it's always quite an exciting, interesting to be.
So maybe the same as us, long-term relationships with people. You're not in and out that quick. You are around as a trusted advisor as you go. So over those experiences, lots of training, lots of business training, lots of sales training. How have you found it in real estate now for the training that is specific on how to list and sell houses, I guess, if you call it that?
Yeah, I think one of the decisions for me to get into real estate was the process of it. I've come from a sort of background of a lot of training, a lot of procedures, and that's what I was really looking at. And I've been pleasantly surprised. There's quite a lot to go about getting your license in the first place.
Yeah, that's a big.
A lot of people underestimate that.
Yep.
So there's a lot of study to be done. A lot of re-education, and then the ongoing training is really important. As you sort of touched on it before, that a lot of people may see real estate as just that sort of single sale and then it's gone. It's not that at all. It's about that ongoing relationship with people.
Yeah,
so you're seeing them from start to finish, and then you may be looking after them or their friends a few months or a couple of years down the track as well.
And I think as we go into next year, we've got a business plan there that now talks about Go Pro. So I think we're very good at what we do, but it's adding that extra dimension and becoming even more professional with everything that's in there. Appreciate that. Here's a question. It's always a hurdle financially to join real estate. We always talk to people and say, look, bank on maybe not earning anything for 6 months, which normally eliminates people. But I think your solution of blending into real estate has been really good. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that was a concern for me, and was difficult.
And everybody at home probably too, yeah.
A lot of pressure from home. It's a commission sales essentially. So I was fortunate enough where I did have a business. And then I could, slowly, evolve into real estate sales. I had a lot of community background, so a lot of people knew me. So it was not only from the business side of it, but actually that sort of relationship, starting the relationship with people. It's really, really important. You really can't cut any corners. You really have to do that work, and that it's rewarded. So I was a little bit different, so that I had a business that I could step in and out of.
Yes.
And where I was known and knew a lot of people, and so I thought, well, I'll start off at 90% this, 10% real estate, and then as time goes, I'll change that percentage. And so far, it's worked really well.
Yeah, fantastic, and good tracking there. And there's going to be a lot of people now that see James and go, okay, now I recognise that face down in St Heliers. A lot of families will know you there. I think you're right there. It is a hurdle coming in. You've got a very smart way of doing that. Other people, when I joined, I had to, at that stage it was my partner, Chrissy had a really good corporate role, so she retained that, and I took the risk of 100% commission. And I think if people are starting to think about joining real estate, how do you get over that? How do you work with somebody who's got a plan to help you through that transition period? What skills do you need? Now, James comes in with a beautiful business background and sales background, but I've seen also people come in raw and actually just have the personality to carry it off. But then it's a lot of training, isn't it? Once you're on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that I really enjoy is that ongoing training. Because the law is changing around real estate sales.
Yes, true. Yep.
And you need to be up to date. There's role playing, all those sorts of things.
Yep.
And for people that haven't come from a sales background, that's really important. Because you really need to have that sort of knowledge, that education. So there's always weekly for us training.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I know the requirements X amount of hours, but the more you do, the better you're gonna be out there. So it's really portraying who you are. The confidence is really important to people because it's their biggest asset, and they.
So you have to do a good job. You touched
Absolutely.
on the hours there. The hours, 20 hours in total, 10 of what they call verifiable, 10 are non-verifiable. Within our group, the average we'd be hitting about 100 hours. So that's how much stronger we are with the training. James, well done. The proof is in the pudding. Your success rate with auctions coming through, which is the A-class game of how to sell, is 100%. So I congratulate you on that. And if you're thinking about joining real estate, look, just come and have a chat to us. We'll talk to you honestly about the hurdles, maybe how to get across them, and then you can sit down with somebody like James, have a coffee and get the inside running and find out if it suits you. It certainly suits this guy. He's fantastic and he's great to work with. James, thank you very much.
Thanks, Wayne.